Yeah.
So, okay, so we're back. Sorry. We have Stormy here, and so we're just playing with devices as our internet seems to cut in and out, which is interesting. So, anyway, so I'm excited for you. Do you think if you meet someone of interest, are you going to do some channeling and check out what information you need to know? Are you going to use your channeling like for that sort of stuff as well? And are you also going to be using that for like lotto numbers?
Yes, already won the lotto. It's been great. Um,
What
um,
the
you know,
heck? Yeah.
pardon.
What the heck? How did I not know that? And why haven't I not been sent something?
Yeah, I told my spiritual team to keep it quiet. One sec, I'm just in the pool. I'll just get out. You know what? So it's interesting. You know, I have been using the channeling to seek advice for myself, but there is still that little nagging lack of trust that I need to sort of get out of. Um, which is, you know, giving myself advice. Am I just saying what I want to hear? Um, and that's going to be really interesting going forward as I do it more and more and more, you know, to see, um, because often I find when I'm channeling, if I'm giving myself great advice or I'm praising myself, or forgive me, they're praising me for work I'm doing, I'm thinking, am I just like being real egoic here and like thinking I'm the most special person ever? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
feel the same
so
way when they it's kind of like they're saying all this positive stuff, and they're saying stuff positively about me. I'm like, this is really embarrassing. People are like, oh my god, did you hear what she said this time? She's like loves herself, and it was like, I would never personally say this about myself ever because I would be struggling to even really own that. And so when they're saying positive things about me, I'm like, all my friends know that this is not my ego because that's not how I view myself still. So it's really interesting because they just want to support us and love us so much. And there's no way if I was gonna. It's basically that's my confirmation that it's not my ego because I got told once I had a really huge ego but in the negative, and I was like, what does that mean? So, but it's on purpose. I have to be to have a strong negative ego to kind of keep me focused and not get distracted and bogged down with life to be able to do my life purpose. So I can respect that now, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm failing. Once again, I feel like, I'm not doing so fantastic. So definitely. And I know, Andre, you adore yourself. You're really proud of yourself and your accomplishments, as you absolutely should. But I know that you wouldn't waste your time trying to connect with divine beings and just keep repeating that you love yourself. When they say it, they really mean it, and you can feel that. And so I would almost say that's solid confirmation that that is them. And potentially you having to process that will give you stronger intuition and a moral compass, knowing truly what the universe thinks of you and how you should approach yourself and how you should trust yourself and a whole lot of stuff. So, I mean, I still feel like it's keys to the universe, and I think it's incredibly fantastic.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, and you know what? I don't need them. I don't mean it in a bad way, but I don't need them to compliment me because I've learned over time to acknowledge my accomplishments and to give myself that pat on the back. And that's big advice that I learned from my first spiritual group that I was with my soulmate, Josephine, who ran the group. She would always say, stop it now. I want you to stand there. I want you to take your hand and I want you to slap your back and say, pat on the back, well done for your accomplishment. Like own your accomplishments, own your triumphs, because and that's not overly egoic. It's about recognizing when you take steps forward and make strides and make accomplishments, and the more you can acknowledge the positives in your life, the more you open yourself up to receiving more and more and more and more, and there's nothing wrong with it receiving. And I want, part of the block that we have with receiving compliments and receiving praise is worrying about being overly egoic, and having that stroke our egos, but that blocks us then from receiving. So the more open we are to receiving compliments and divine intervention, and being able to praise ourselves, the more open we are to these wonderful experiences through channeling, because we're receiving, we're opening ourselves up to receiving. And that's been really important growth in my journey, I feel. So it's allowing yourself to have to honor that part of the ego, but also keeping yourself in check and remembering that it's not about the praise, but it's about the message, it's about the work, and it's about the support. But you are allowed to acknowledge yourself and allowed to acknowledge the triumphs and the growth that you have.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being a great advantage. There's still on purpose blocks for me to do that though, and I know that, and that's great because they don't want me to jump into ego. They don't want me to be like suddenly trying to become an influencer. Like and I'm quite grateful for that because I have seen so many great people get stuck. Not that you would. I don't think you would either. I think you're very grounded, but I want to keep being an open connection for these sessions and for my own channeling. And so I kind of feel when they praise me, it's kind of like I want to shrug it off because I'm not here for the praise. I'm here for the work.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. It's not about the praise, but I still feel like acknowledgement of your own achievements in yourself can be done with balance. To find to support yourself and to go within and to hear those messages of support and allowing those to sink in and allowing yourself to trust and to feel like it's not just you, like giving yourself all this praise. I think there's balance. I think there's balance in everything, balance in everything. And a lot of spiritual influencers, I mean, influencers in general, let's take away the spirituality, all the influencers on Instagram. I mean, you look at them and it's like, and I don't mean to be judgmental, but it is very much it's about the image, it's about looks, it's about flashing the cash and being an influencer and influencing people for the purpose of making money. And there is a balance with that needs to be had, especially with spirituality, to get yourself to a place where you're confident enough to feel like you can pass on the beautiful messages of growth and inspiration to other people who may need that guidance, who are not quite ready to look for that guidance within themselves. To have that influence is something that is so special if you have the humility to be able to use it in a way that is not feeding our own ego or their own ego, for the purposes of only being only having that feeling of being like the most special or the most spiritual, because it's not what it's all about. No one is more or less spiritual than anybody else. We're all on our different levels, we're all in our different periods of growth. So I think balance, and that's something that's always prevalent in my messages, is balance, 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 balance. Always find the balance, and that's the sweet spot.
Ooh, delicious dessert. No, I love that. And yeah, I can really appreciate that. And I can only just come from sort of my own sort of take on it, and how I'm sort of processing it. And I think what they really want me to still do is have that inner value, which I'm sort of working on, but my sort of, my expectations on myself is pretty high. And my standards of things with everything has always been sort of almost unachievable in many reasons and levels, but I thrive with that, like I really always want goals. I think if I felt like, okay, cool, I've mastered this, I would get bored. As weird as it sounds, and I know with this work, you could never get bored because there's so many challenges, there's so many different content and variety, and there's just like so much information out there to like be really intrigued with and be really curious with. It's fantastic. It's left my quench for other things that I used to really enjoy in my life that I was really passionate about, like with my pottery and other stuff. really has plummeted to non-existent, because this work has really captured my excitement and my drive. And so, I'm really grateful for that. So maybe there is that block of not, not getting complacent potentially. I'm not too sure, but whatever it is, I'm happy for the experience, that's for sure. And I'm just trying to recall back to the very first time it's quite common that clients come in and they want to know how they can channel, and they want to know if they can channel. And I just remember sitting here, listening to my beautiful client and the higher self saying exactly how she needed to channel. And it was incredible. It was, such great wisdom, which was just, it's all within. It's not out there, it's all within. And, what does she think she's doing right now? She's channeling them, and she can do it. And you don't need to have the assistance of, getting into a heavy trance to be able to do it. You just have to really believe in yourself and trust, whatever comes out of your mouth. And if it's loving words, that's exactly what the universe wants you to hear, which is just the most sweetest thing. And so after the session, I was so moved that I came down here by myself after she'd gone, and I was like, I'm going to just try it. And I did it, and I recorded it, and it was, they were just there. It was just there waiting, and it was just so funny. I can't remember. I'm just remembering this now, and I don't even know what I've done with the recording, and I think it might have only just been a few minutes as well. And it was just perfect encouragement, and they just said, keep on going. You're doing exactly what you need to do. Keep on going. You've got so much work ahead of you. Just keep on going, which is ironic because it's literally every time I ask at the end of a session, is there a final message for me? That usually is exactly what they say. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that great sentence again, which is great confirmation for me. I'm not fucking up. I'm doing what I should be doing. I trust that if I am screwing up something or I'm going down a wrong path, they would be telling me. I know that I've got my free will, but I truly believe that if I was doing something that was not for the betterment of humanity or the betterment for myself, I really believe they will give me some stronger advice and wisdom, or things will start showing up in my life. That stuff was turned into custard. Oh, dessert again. So yeah, but interestingly enough, when I realized I could do it, I was like, okay, cool. I'm busy. I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on these sessions and not do the channeling, which is funny because I really still have that massive drive to help others more than myself. But I also know that, you can't pour from an empty cup, and, I must be able to fulfill myself profoundly, to really be able to help others with my overflow. And, we all know people who, are wonderful givers to others, but are completely dry and barren, and empty, with energy. And, those people who just, their hearts are gold, but they don't have that balance and those boundaries. So, yeah, it's all growth.
Really, yeah, I mean, boundaries are so important. Again, another like hot topic of my life is boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Because I feel like as empaths, people whose mission it is to be on this earth to live their lives, but even when you're not spiritually inclined, you have that purpose of being someone who helps, someone who gives of themselves, and part of that journey is to learn about boundaries. And it's almost everyone, boundaries are so very, very important. And I think it's one of the hardest things for someone who is spiritually inclined, who is inclined to give and give and give and give, to be able to rein it back and say, you know what, I've given today. I have some things I need to sort out and do in my own life. So therefore, learning where to find that balance and boundary, because you can give so much of yourself and not look after your own self. And I feel like one of the best things that ever came out in one of my sessions, I think it was one of my first sessions, it might have even been my first, was the analogy of, you must put on the life jacket of, no, put on the mask of your child before you attend to your own, no, put on your own mask before you attend to your child's mask. Because without you being safe, you cannot help your child. Does that make sense?
I got
I'm talking
triggered.
about the analogy.
Yeah, I got triggered when you talked about life jackets, and I was like taken back to your experience on Titanic.
Oh, yeah, there was no life jacket for me then.
Oh, I'm laughing. I'm so bad. But just
It's okay. I tended to the people. Actually, that's the one analogy where it does not work out. I did not put on my own life jacket first. um, but yeah, that was really interesting. Yeah.
oh my God.
Uh,
Sorry. Yeah.
okay, I'm not triggered.
Well, I mean,
It's so
that's the thing. That's how we should approach all our past lifetimes, whatever ones we know, because so many people sort of boost themselves with their egos of who they were in the past lifetimes. That's great for that, but right now we're who we are right now, and you need to focus on that, and maintain this lifetime the best we can for however long we've got it, because goodness knows what could be happening. So being responsible with our minds and bodies, the best we can is definitely what we should be focusing on the most. Even though I love past lifetimes, they're so incredible, so amazing, always a beautiful journey, even really tragic ones, because they're so profound to this lifetime. This is the reason why the subconscious gives you those experiences and sessions, is because they're the most important for this lifetime. And it's true. It is always true. It's so powerfully true.
yeah. I mean, if we were meant to remember our past lifetimes, we would. The only reason we're shown our past lifetimes is because what happened in that lifetime might be relevant to what we're going through in being able to heal in this lifetime. Or, I mean, we have
And
to focus on this.
yeah, totally. And like my analogy or my statement to you before was about, woohoo, you can channel. Now you've got the king, you've got the keys to the universe. But then as soon as you can channel and you realize you realize actually what are the most important things. And, you don't, most good people don't use, this for, a lot of tickets, because I don't think you'd get it anyway. But, it kind of, as it pleases my appetite for quest of information and curiosity to know I can do it at any time. So then it's kind of like, okay, cool. What am I trying to say here? It's like, it's great to have as a tool belt, but I probably don't use as much as I could, because I do know there's a limit of information we're allowed to know this lifetime right now. They're like, yeah, you can have the pieces that you can cope with now and process that. And then, when you really need more information, because they're also not trying to distract us from this lifetime, because they're like, excuse me, kids, focus on this lifetime. This is your homework right now. You're living your homework right now. And while it's super exciting to explore, we must be focused, even though sometimes we want to think about the new earth and what that looks like and be all excited about that, which is fantastic, because we all need to have positivity and manifest our lives on the new earth. But you know what I mean? Like, there is.
Uh, it's so interesting you say that, because it was only yesterday I was doing a session, and the client's higher self, I was like, can we just remove that? Can we just heal that? And can we like give the answers for that? And the higher self often said, no, this person needs to experience it. We cannot give this person the answers right now. We cannot heal this right now. The person must heal it by experiencing their life.
Yeah.
Um, that happens a lot as well with my higher self. It's like, no, Andre's not ready for that yet. Andre needs to just not worry and live it out, and it will all come to light. So there is a huge amount, especially with channeling. You're not going to get every answer, but they're gonna. I mean, yesterday as well, when I was channeling about that session, they were like, because there was one part where I was unsure about a question that I asked, and they were like, it's like, it'll all unfold. It's fine. Like it was great. It was purposeful, that kind of thing. So they didn't give me a definitive answer to it, but actually they were like, you already know this, it's purposeful, and it's all about gaining information and experience, and healing that way.
Yeah, that's the reason why when we ask in sessions, like, why is this medium, or why is this channeler, or why is this information in a session said this? Why have we been told this information from other people's sessions, and information out there that's public from other people, and we always get the same information because the ego is blocking them. They haven't done their own inner work. They're trying to people please and not get the bigger truth, and they're not ready for the bigger truth. So while they've got great humanity hopes, and their integrity and their intentions is to be the best they can and to help humanity, they're not seeing their own blocks and issues that they need to address. And that's not judgment, unfortunately. That's just seems to be the reality of some people's situations. And I'm sure who knows how long ago I could have been getting that information too. So it's so interesting that they just know when we're ready. They know who needs this information and who shouldn't. And, and also for practitioners' protections, I know that some QHHT practitioners have been blocked for information because if they were sharing the information that we can get now, their lives could have been at risk. Like the subconscious is not going to play around with you if you share information or no information that could put you in danger. Like it's not a game for some of the bigger stuff that's out there informational wise. And I know Dolores was getting lots of information about that she was told not to publish, for that very reason. The reason why her books are incredible and have so much information is because she listened to what they said she can and can't do. And she trusted and respected the information that they said to her. You can publish this and you can't publish that. And she did, and that's how she got to live, as long as she could, and how she got all her information out that she wanted to, that was ready for humanity at that time.
It's so interesting with Dolores, and this is just speculation, but the way our end of life is planned. It's all part of a contract. It's all part of a plan. How her life ended at a point before this information was starting to come to light, how it was not right for her. It was not her purpose right now in that moment to publish, to go any further with her work. Like she'd done what her purpose was. She fulfilled what needed to be done with regards to her life and her purpose with her books. I just find that so interesting. What's the plan going forward? Like what's meant to come out now? Are we meant to have sort of like a break in it? Is now the work spread far and wide enough with other practitioners that now it's up to the practitioners to start carrying on the work? I just find it really interesting. I think about it a lot, actually. What is the purpose? How I try to look at the map. Does that make sense?
Yes. I view things a little bit differently though, because I do know, so it's not necessarily a speculation, but I do know Dolores was meant to stay here and experience New Earth, but the timelines shifted. And so when the timelines shifted and, it was actually going to be not New Earth on planet here, it was going to be, it's a brand new sparkly planet for us that we're going to be evacuated to go to. When that changed, and I think she was really struggling with people not understanding timeline changes. And, I don't know if she was getting 100% of the support she needed. There was a shift in her contract where it was chosen that she would depart from the life as Dolores and be able to go back and be able to help humanity in a more profound way. And she has, oh my gosh, she has done. I mean, we all know her as Dolores Cannon, and we know how much and how influential she has been while she was alive. And it is, it's a world renowned. She is incredible. But what people do not seem to understand, or maybe they do, but they just are not aware, is she is a huge powerhouse on the other side. She is wakening people up, just as much as all the other beings are as well. But she is, she's really, it's amazing what she's doing, because I have so many clients saying that she's coming into dreams. They're feeling her push to watch her videos, like her content and her work. I mean, it's incredible, but it is a shame. I know she would have loved to be, to be on the New Earth, because she'd worked so dearly on it. She really had so much information, which is still true information. Again, timeline shifted 2012, timeline shifted 2020, yeah, 2020. And then, I mean, we're being forecasted to have the shift again this year. And so, it is just a matter of time until humanity is, at that vibration, raise their vibration high enough to make that shift. To go as a collective and, experience that. But, as we know, we're going through some darker times to wait for other people to be awoken and see the bigger truths unfolding, which will be shocking for them. But, there's many people who are very aware of the truth about the crimes against humanity, for example. And so they're going to be nurtured and supported quite well. Quite well. So, I mean, it is fascinating how it's all unfolding. So, sorry. I hope I didn't take.
No, amazing. That's really great information. I love that. Yeah, and with Dolores, I was pushed into watching her videos years ago. I'm talking like maybe 3 years ago, beginning of my awakening, and it scared the utter out of me. I was like, oh, this is amazing. I've got to buy her books. I bought one of her books, and I was like, no, I'm not ready for this information yet. I totally misunderstood the information. I thought she was like, you're not allowed to eat. You have to be like perfect. You have to have no guilt, no shame, no fear. I was like, but I'm full of all these things. You know what I mean? And then I grew, spent about 2.5 years of my own spiritual growth, went back to her content, went back to her books, and I was like, oh, I totally understand what they're talking about right now. The information, it was so interesting, the way, the purpose of having her information like shake me into this awakening, and bring up all my fears, all my worries, all my this and that, going through that moment and then being brought back to her content with a new mindset was just so powerful and profound. And so I'm really appreciative of that, if that makes sense.
I love that. Yeah, that's so cute. Yeah, that is so cool to be able to see that own growth. Yeah, my introduction to Dolores was quite special and different as well. So, which is just great. I think I don't know if everyone that's been listening to these sessions know who Dolores Cannon is, or what the work that I do as a practitioner. I love doing the sessions. I love doing the QHHT sessions that are in person, and I love doing my quantum sessions that I do online. And it's just so amazing. It is just so touching and powerful. And I always get tickled when she comes into the sessions to hear from her, because I feel like she's a dear friend now. Because when I read her books, and her journey is so amazing, I can really feel her energy, what she's experiencing. So yeah, I feel really lucky about that. Anyway, sorry, totally off topic. My goodness, because we really wanted to talk about. So Andre and I did a session where I wanted to ask. We didn't do a quotation section. I did a channeled session. I guess we should probably try and make distinctions so people can understand what's the names and the terms of these things that we do, that you listen to. So I connected in with, I think we set our intentions high. We want everyone to come in to be able to explain to us why I keep getting poked that we should start doing support groups and Zoom workshop meetings, and potentially one-on-one channeling with myself and anyone that's interested in needing support. And I know Andre is, he's quite busy, but he is open for. Are you open for sessions publicly, or you still got a big backlog?
I'm open. I'm open to definitely be involved. My channeling experience at the moment is quite fresh, and but I would love the opportunity to give it a go and to connect with people like that. It'd be fabulous.
Cute. Fantastic. What a gift to humanity you are. So fantastic. So anyway, we want to be able to connect with people and offer them some support if people need support, or whether you want some workshops. I don't even know what kind of would come through that. I kind of envision small groups of people who are on the same time zone, and we just hear what everyone's going through right now. And if there is any sort of general questions, we could share that with each other in the small sort of support groups. I guess I feel like a support group is kind of a workshop too, isn't it? Because we're hearing from each other, we're growing and learning from each other, and if there's any content from the sessions that we're a little bit stuck with or don't quite know how to apply. I mean, I don't know. I'm not wanting to like set specific agendas for the sessions. I want it to be organic, because I feel like each group that seems to get merged together will have their own flavor, their own vibration, and I know that it'll be really purposeful why they are together. So I've been pushing this off for a while because I didn't really even know how we would go about it. So anyway, do I leave my email in the comments, or do I say my email now? And so whoever's been listening is obviously prime and ready to do, to be part of this, to be part of the workshops and the support groups. What do you think, Andre?
Yeah, I mean, your email is on the YouTube page. That's how I found your email. We met so many months ago. So it's like super. If you need to email Joe, the email is on the YouTube page. But you can say it now if you feel comfortable. It's up to you.
Yeah, well, I don't feel uncomfortable. I just have to remember what it is.
Oh. I will find out right now exactly what it is. I'm here. I'm looking in my emails.
I don't email myself. If that is,
I'm going to tell you what your email address is. Are you ready?
I'll get a pen and paper.
Yeah, if you wouldn't, yeah. So your email is all one word, connectingtoheaven@gmail.com. I repeat, connectingtoheaven@gmail.com. That's CO.
Okay. And so if people are wanting to connect to you, Andre, should they just email me and I forward it to you, or are you wanting to get your email out onto YouTube land too?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yes, I mean, I can give you my email as well if anyone wants to reach out to me personally. I mean, Joe and I are really connected. We speak for hours every day, so you guys can use your own intuition as to how you'd like to communicate with us. But I'll give you my email. So it's my name is spelled weird. It's andre.boyd@icloud.com. So it's Andre is spelled ANDREI. So it's ANDREI .boyd BOYD at icloud.com.
Cute. And no trolls and no spam. Please.
Will be ignored and or deleted.
Yeah. Do you want dick pics? Sorry, no, it's not appropriate.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. I know what they look like. It's all good.
Okay, good to know. Okay, good. So yeah. So
but I also just want to say as well, I'm not afraid of somebody emailing with queries and questions and concerns about something. I don't need, it's not about just sending positive, great emails. A troll is someone who is sending nasty, hurtful content to people, because of something that has triggered them or whatnot. If I don't mind answering emails if someone has a query or a question or a concern about something that has been said or something that how they feel about something either. Does that make sense? It's just about doing it in a constructive, friendly, supportive way that we're all supporting each other and looking for our own truths. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. But will you be feeding the trolls?
I will not be feeding the trolls. I do not not respond in my day-to-day or my work life to hurtful and negative comments. That's
And the best thing is that I think, I mean, for both of us, is that we can really tap into the energy and the integrity of the person who's emailing us. So, you know, regardless of how clever people think they are with their words or their writing, we can read into the authenticity of the person. And so while we all know we've got blocks and we have our own issues, if you're truly trying to have, you know, not the best intentions for the connections, you know, we're not going to be played with. And that's I think I know that now, and so I think that's the reason why I'm quite confident to be able to go, okay, cool, I'm ready. We can do support groups and workshops, and do whatever that, you know, is called upon us to help humanity with. Whereas before, I think I probably was a little bit too sensitive to and too open to try and help everyone when I should have used my intuition and know that some people, you know, are just not so not so healthy for me.
Yeah. But, you know, and also just to note as well, it's not like we have this massive, huge, horrible problem and that's all we get. You know, it does, you know, there's so many people who are just wonderful and supportive and positive, looking to learn and grow with us as well, you know. But you do get the odd person, you see it all over the Facebook, you know, messaging things on some of the spiritual pages. You know, there is a lot of people who have a lot of inner work to do, who project onto the comments of certain posts, and there is a level of decorum and that we all need to have, spiritually, non-spiritually, whatever, where we're supporting and helping each other and growing with each other.
Absolutely.
And this,
Gosh, you know, sometimes I read comments, you know, on social media, and I think, who has hurt you? You know, like, my goodness, you are just bleeding emotions, and but you are so angry and aggressive about it, you know, and just trying to like trying to get a negative reaction from some stranger with your it's anyway, it's yeah, that's like another 5 hour conversation just on that alone. I mean, I feel really sorry for them because yeah, there's so much help that is out there for people. You know why? Yeah, it kind of is. It's so intriguing. It's
yeah.
yeah, humanity is a mystery to me in so many ways. I really feel that because you know we all get to choose who we want to be, and you know being a dick on the internet probably is the most you know interesting choice, but it's still, you know, there's no judgment, but you know, God, what an exhausting time to spend, you know.
And you know what? Times are real tough. People are really triggered right now as well, and they need sometimes a place to channel that anger and that frustration.
Totally.
Um, and that's fine, you know. As I said, I'm not like scared of someone sending an email that is emotionally charged or triggered, but it's that level of decorum, it's that level of understanding, the finding that line between seeking help and guidance,
Mm.
and voicing your truth, but also being nasty and discouraging and disheartening, because there is that I'm very good at ignoring that kind of stuff, and not even giving any energy to it. And that is something that, because I would have been very like that in my past, you know, not so very recently, but in my early 20s, I definitely would have been one to be like, you're an idiot, or, you know, this is ridiculous, you're stupid, you know, on Facebook. And I've learned my lessons. I definitely have.
Yeah, totally. I just wanted to let people know though that you know if you are considering to join, you know, our groups, our Zoom groups, so support groups, workshop groups, whatever we're going to label them as, you know, just be rest assured we're going to do our due diligence to make sure that you know the people who are in it are there for the very right reasons. You know, we're not going to get you vulnerable to be in a support group and find out there is, you know, little Miss Troll, you know, who's trying to heckle everyone or whatever, you know, like, you know, I'll give the trolls their own group. You're welcome.
Thanks. And look, yeah, it's not judgment either. We're not judging.
No.
It's just over time you start to see what's healthy and what's not healthy, and it's important that the spaces that we create are safe for everybody involved and are supportive. And um, that doesn't necessarily mean always being love and light, because that's fake. You've got to be able to speak your truth and voice your concerns. But again, it's that level, that line.
And like, I have definitely been unhealthy, and I can definitely recognize it very quickly in other people. So I really know from my own growth and experiences where people are residing at, because, I've been there, so it's not like Little Miss Perfect going, oh my gosh, I'm so judgmental. It's more like, yeah, I can see that because it's so clear as day to me, because I can register that frequency straight away. And it's like, oh yeah, that's, so I've got great compassion for everyone, because it's been a long, hard journey for myself as well. So I'm going to have a birthday soon. I forgot. I'm going to turn another age, which I didn't think I was going to be. I'm going to be, I'm a lot older than my 12-year-old humor suggests.
Can you believe it?
I know. Yeah. I know. Anyway, so okay, so I think we've gasped way too long, but this is important for us to share these ideas, which if you've listened already, I think what I might do is I might just post the channeling session of them connecting and their information first, and then people can listen to this support information about that. So hopefully it makes sense to people. If you're still listening, well done. You've endured a lot.
But it's been really super, super amazing to connect and to chat like this. I love these little moments where we can just talk about it, because I often feel, I know we're going on again, but I'll just quickly say, I often feel in my surroundings that I'm quite alone. I've been placed in this part of the world for specific reasons, and I often feel very alone. So it's great to have these moments where I can talk about this stuff and voice my truths and my experiences with you, Joe, and with everybody else who listens. It's super, I jump at these opportunities.
Yeah. Or maybe this is kind of just what the support group would be, is just us, sharing our experiences and what we're finding. Like right now, my goodness, we're finding that karma is like virtually instant. And if you've still got karma that's still outstanding, that stuff's like brewing up. It is like, I don't want to get graphic here, but if you could imagine the biggest pimple, the most gnarliest pimple, and it's like just about to explode. That's like what most karma for people are is right now. So maybe get a handy towel.
Gross. I'm sorry, this is taking a really weird turn, people.
Can we get back to dessert now? Yeah, sorry. Well, if people are going to actually get to see and hear me in these support groups and workshops, they should probably be bracing themselves for me. I'm not going to be the practitioner me, and I'm not going to be the channeler me, because that's not even me. This is just Joe, and this is my humor and my behavior. But bottom line is that I deeply feel passionate to help people who have been listening, who have been on this journey, because Andre and I have known each other for 3 months, and it feels, obviously we've had many lifetimes together, so that's why we have that strong connection. But I just know, however long we have left on this earth, if we can connect with each other and have the strength of supporting each other, we're going to make that time feel so much more bearable.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. That's really beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, my lights are like fully pulsing right now in the room. And as soon as I felt that, I'm feeling everyone right now who's listening and who's going to listen to this message. So it's really powerful. We really need it. And when I was doing the channeling, I could feel everyone's higher selves being like, we need this now. This is when we really need that support. And they did say there's a few people that they are a little bit concerned about, because it is just so That's so challenging. Feeling this information, trusting this information, believing in this information, and then with the delays and with everything else that's coming out, it is a challenging time. We're not gonna, sugarcoat that. So, we want to support you the best way we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we've been given support in our life also through
Yeah.
channels, and it's been really beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I am open to people contacting me if they're really in that dire situation as well. I am really compassionate. Um, and trust, if you're still listening, you are definitely worthy of my time. So I just want to give you all my love, guys, and I can't wait to see who is brave enough to come and hang out with us. Well, Andre, I don't know. I really want to make it easier for people with time zones stuff. So, but it would be fantastic if we could have some ones with you as well and merge it all together. I think that'd be really cute.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We can look into it and see what the group is like, what their time zones are like. I mean, if it's around Australia, New Zealand, that kind of area, I have my mornings and my evenings,
Mm.
but I trust it will be purposeful. It'll all be meant to be. So I would be honored to be involved in some of the sessions. Absolutely.
Cute. Nice. Thank you. I kind of want to make lots of smaller groups. So thinking, maybe like an hour or two, and then, everyone gets an opportunity to talk and experience and share. I think that's really important to be able to hear everyone's voices because, I think we're really good at bottling up our emotions. And when you can't share the truth about what you're experiencing, we're really good at sucking it up. And when you're in a group of like-minded people, I think we will want to share some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay, cool. So, okay, so lots of love. We'll just play it with ear how everything will unfold. So, just thank you everyone for always your support and love. It's amazing how much when I connect into the groups, I can feel you already. So, thank you. Bye.
Bye. That was awful. I love you, Joe.
We're so mature. I love it.